So let us start the fifth numerical. You can see the graph is given to us. From this displacement time graph, we have to calculate first part average velocity in first 4 seconds. So in first 4 seconds, what will be the average velocity? We will use the formula total displacement over total time. So let us calculate the total displacement in first 4 seconds. So after 4 seconds, the reading of displacement is coming out to be 10. So it means total displacement is 10, and what is the total time? It is 4 seconds. So average velocity will be total displacement over total time. So it will be 10 upon 5. We will get the answer 2.5. Next one is second part. We have to calculate the displacement from initial position at the end of 10 seconds. So you can see 10 seconds is ending over here. What is the displacement after 10 seconds? It is coming out to be minus 10. So answer will be minus 10 meter. The time after which he reaches the starting point. So time after which he reaches the starting point, you have to check if the graph is meeting the x-axis. That is the time when he will reach the starting point. You can see the graph is starting from here. This is the starting point. Then the graph is coming back to x-axis at 7 seconds, then to 13 seconds. So it means the object or the cyclist is reaching the starting point first at 7 seconds, then at 13 seconds. So you can note it down from here. Okay, students, you can pause the video and note down the numericals. Sixth one is, you can see the graph is given to us, and from the graph we have to calculate. First one is distance by which the car B was initially ahead of car A. So distance by which B was ahead of A. You can see the graph. B is starting from 40, A is starting from 0. It means B was ahead from A by 40 kilometer. So the first answer will be 40 kilometer. Then they are saying calculate velocities of car A and B. How we can calculate the velocity from displacement time graph? By calculating the slope of the line. So we will calculate the slope of line A and slope of line B. So first is velocity of car A will be slope of line A. So you can see I have calculated the slope over here. Students, if you are having any doubt in calculation of slope and all, you can call me. I'll explain you. So this is velocity of car B. So slope of line B. So this is how we will calculate the velocity of both the cars. Now the third part is the time after which car A will catch car B. So from the graph we can check the time after which both the cars are catching each other. Both are meeting at 2 hours. So it means the time at which they will catch each other is 2 hours. In the fourth part they are asking at what distance, after covering what distance they will catch each other. So the distance is 80 kilometer. So this is how you will solve the numericals. You can note it down. Seventh is data is given to us and you have to plot the graph, and from graph you have to judge whether the motion is uniform or non-uniform. So students, if the graph is coming to be a straight line, it is a uniform motion. If it is not coming to be a straight line, it is a curve, then it is non-uniform motion. So in seventh numerical you can see graph is coming to be a curve. It means it is a non-uniform motion. Okay, eighth one is graph is given to us, and from velocity time graph we have to plot displacement time graph. So from velocity time graph, how we can calculate the displacement time graph? By calculating the area under the graph. So we will name the points O, A, B, C, D. So after 1 second, displacement will be area of triangle OAX. So this is the triangle. So you can calculate the area of OAX, that is by using the formula half into base into height. We will get the answer. Similarly, we can calculate the displacement after 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 4 seconds. You can see I have calculated over here. And after calculation, we will get these readings. From these readings, we can plot displacement time graph. Okay, next one is they have given a graph. You can see over here they have given a graph. In this graph, their first question is state how is the distance traveled in any part determined from this graph. From this graph, how we can calculate the distance? From velocity time graph we can calculate the distance by calculating the area under the graph. So first answer is this. Second is we have to calculate distance traveled in AB and distance traveled in BC. So how we can calculate the distance traveled from velocity time graph? By calculating the area under the graph. So we will calculate area under AB, area under BC. AB is this straight line. So if we join B to X, we will get a triangle. And if we consider BC, if we join these points with the x-axis, we are getting a rectangle. It means in first part, we have to calculate area of triangle, half into base into height. And in second part, we have to calculate the area of rectangle, that is length into breadth. Put the values, you will be able to calculate the distance traveled in AB and BC. Now we have to compare the distance traveled in both the cases. So they are saying compare the distance traveled in BC to distance traveled in AB. Put the values of both and we will get this ratio, that is 2:1. Next part is, which part of the graph shows motion with uniform velocity? Uniform velocity means, in velocity time graph, uniform velocity means velocity is not changing, it is constant. So you can see in graph BC, velocity is not changing. So A answer will be BC. A answer will be BC. In B part, we have to judge uniform velocity. In first part it was uniform velocity, that is velocity is not changing, it is BC. In second part, uniform acceleration. Uniform acceleration means increase in velocity with time. So velocity is increasing with time in AB. Last is retardation, that is decrease in velocity with time, that is part CD. So you can note the answer. Okay, next part is calculate the acceleration and retardation from this graph. Acceleration will be slope of AB, retardation will slope of CD. So I have calculated acceleration slope of AB, retardation slope of CD. So I have already told you how to calculate the slope. So we have calculated the slope in both the cases. You can see over here I am getting 0.5. So I have removed the decimal and placed the 10 in the numerator, 5 in the denominator. On cancelling we get twice of V0 upon T. So it means retardation is coming to be twice of acceleration. And when we compare both acceleration over retardation, they have asked to compare also. We are getting the ratio 1:2. So this is the fourth part. 10th numerical is, the velocity time graph of a moving body is given. You can see the graph is given to us. From this graph we have to calculate acceleration in part AB, BC and CD. So from this graph we can calculate the acceleration by calculating the slope. From velocity time graph we can calculate the acceleration by calculating the slope of the graph. So you can see in part AB we can calculate the slope of the graph AB and we will get the acceleration in AB. Then in BC is a straight line parallel to x-axis, so slope will be 0, hence acceleration will be 0. In part CD also I have calculated the slope of the graph and we got the answer for acceleration. In second part, we have to calculate displacement in AB, displacement in BC, displacement in CD. So for that, what we will do, we will name these 2 points. You can look over here, I have named X and Y. So you can name this in the graph. So displacement in AB will be area of triangle ABX. So you can look over here, I have calculated the area ABX. Half into base into height. Similarly, you can calculate displacement in BC, area of rectangle BCYX, length into breadth, and displacement of CD will be area of triangle YCD. So this is how you will calculate displacement. What will be the total displacement? Total displacement will be addition of the 3 displacements. So that will be the answer.